No, the doctors actually, it's crazy, man. I got rushed into hospital and it was like a movie. Like there was like 30 people just running around, like people wearing gloves, and it was literally like a movie.
Airtime Prime.
All right, let's get straight in. Hi guys, welcome back to Airtime Prime. Today we don't have my co-host Leo. He had to go somewhere, which I'll explain to you later. But today we have a special guest. He's a public speaker. Do you know where Heathrow is? If you know Heathrow is the biggest and busiest airport in UK. So he's the engineer there. He does aerospace engineering. Welcome to Airtime Prime podcast, and good to have you here. And also, you're STEM ambassador too, correct?
That's right, yeah. So I try and encourage more of the youth, more of the future generation, future leaders to get into STEM. Because I feel like that's where the real decisions get made and where society moves forward.
And firstly, I've not said much, but this guy here is one of the most inspiration guy I know. This is why I got him on this podcast, and one of the best show in London. And thank you for coming today.
Thank you very much for having me, Yusuf. I appreciate it.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Like how should people know you? Like what's your motivation to where you are right now?
I think the one thing that sort of I would love people to know about me is I like to just add sparkle, a little motivation to people's day. That's what I like to do. I like to make your day better just by the words that I say and how we interact and the things that we do. Yeah. That's my personal, that's the value I want to add onto people's lives.
And also, he been on ITV TV show, and he got like rated for the best engineer in Heathrow, which I believe that. So we need to give a clap. Way. So how was the experience getting like when ITV said we're gonna film what you've done to change the bagging system? Am I saying it correct?
Yeah, the baggage system.
Bagging system. What is that you've done? Going to tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, so in the baggage system in Heathrow, it's a very complex system and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. One of the things that can go wrong is if a bag is stood up on the baggage belt and it's trying to go through an X-ray machine, it will stop the belt. It just simply won't fit through. Mm-hmm. So I designed something that can actually tip bags over. So we already had an existing design, but it wasn't very efficient. Mm-hmm. So I went back to the drawing board, I redesigned it, and I got it installed. Now, when I was telling one of my managers just about the stuff that I'm doing, he was like, yo, this will make really good telly. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, let's see if ITV are interested. So I speak to the producer, and the producer's like, yes, please, like get me on board. So
that's pretty sick.
So literally, we got the camera crew down, and it just happened. And at the time, I was just doing what was gonna happen anyway. We were installing the toppler, but we had a camera crew behind us, and they were filming us, asking us questions, stuff like that. And then a couple months later, it was on TV, and it's amazing. Like the opportunities that have come off the back of that as well.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable thing. And just to think that not only is my design in the actual Heathrow system, mm-hmm. but actually that whole thing was documented, and then it was shown on telly. That's really cool.
That's pretty sick, man. I even watched it. If you haven't seen it, you should go check. Motivation. How do you say
motivate?
Motivate. So go check on his Instagram. You probably see it when you scroll it down. What's their title called? The Heathrow, the busiest airport.
Yeah. So Heathrow, Britain's busiest airport is the show. What's the name of the show? But yeah, if you want to check it out, it's on the ITV hub as well. Yeah. I think it's episode 9, season 6.
That's pretty sick, man. I didn't know what episode it was, but I watched it, a few clips and I didn't watch it full, I'll be honest, because I've been busy. And I did few whatnot. And then I'm a real G. I say real stuff. I don't want to hide stuff. If I say some lie, it will come back to me. So I don't want to say any lie. So I'll say positive, like what I've done.
Absolutely. To be honest with you, I don't watch any of the episodes either. I watched the one that I was on, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's so how did you get involved in aerospace engineering? What made you decide, I need to get into aerospace rather than mechanical, civil, electrician, or computer science, whatever?
I mean, growing up, I wanted to be a pilot. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to fly a plane. But really and truly, I was fascinated by planes. That's all I knew. I'd look up at them and I'd think, how is this thing actually flying? And then I thought, oh, you know what? Being a pilot would be really cool. But then my brother-in-law was like, are you sure you want to be a pilot? Think about it. You just get on a plane, go to somewhere, you sleep in a hotel, you get back on a plane, you go back home, and it's just bouncing up, you're basically like an Uber driver. You go back and forth. And I was
Basically.
and I was like, okay, maybe it's not as exciting as I thought it may be. Maybe I'm not going to be able to have the creativity that I'm looking for in a job in something like that. So then I was thinking about, I was just exploring the world of engineering. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm good at maths. I'm good at physics. I might as well combine those two plus my love for planes. That's aerospace engineer right there. And then I thought, no, even if I don't become an aerospace engineer, I feel like that's the right direction for now. Let's see where that goes.
No, I did similar path
We
as you
were in
know.
the same course. What do you mean?
We did the same course in the university.
Yusuf saved me in my third year because
I didn't save anyone.
There was this one module that I had no idea how to pass, and then Yusuf.
I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I can help. I'm surely can help people with my.
Till this day,
Yeah.
Me, Rodon, and Roy.
I need to bring him on their podcast.
We literally sit there going, "Oh my god! If it wasn't for Yusuf that day, we would have all failed.
I tried, man.
Absolutely failed." So
I'm glad that I was there to support like whoever's around. Even though I was going through a lot of stuff during exam period during my last year, my personal stuff, like my piloting,
I remember,
which was not working out for me, and I was like, what's going on? But I was like, if I can help someone, I can get whatever. Like if I'm learning something, engineering is about working together.
It really is.
It's about solving the problem, which you say so many times. Like it's in life, we have so many problems, and if we find a solution of that, this is that's what engineer is. That's what life engineers taught me. If I didn't learn anything in a university, what I've learned is I can say that it's problem solving skills, 100%. Like maths equation, like you know where to use it, when to use it. So
absolutely,
so
life is like a very complicated maths equation, but instead of algebra, it's just real like people and problems, and replace the X and the Y with Stacy and
humans.
Abdullah, and then exactly
human,
and then you're gonna have to shuffle them around. You have to manipulate them, and in a good way to try and get the best outcome for them and for you and for everyone.
Yeah. And what you recently flew a plane?
Well, yeah,
for the first time.
yeah.
I saw a video.
Yeah. That was actually not very recent. That was an old video that I uploaded.
Okay, the expression on your face is incredible.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell the like baby joyness, like baby having their first time experiencing this.
Yeah. And that was exactly it, because like you think of it, I had 4 years where I'm learning about planes, I'm learning about thermodynamics, like fluids, how a plane flies fundamentally from the ground up, and then you get there and you're holding onto the steering wheel, and you're flying, and then you push it.
And then you go
and
straight.
It just goes, and you just feel yourself just diving down, and you look down, you see the road, you see cars, you see everything, and you're just diving down towards it. And then all you do is you pull up, and it goes
back up,
back up again, and it's like, all right, what happens if I do this? And you go, and it's like everything just flies this way, flies that way. And I was telling the guy, like, listen, I've studied this stuff, but experiencing it,
it's different experience,
completely different.
I'm glad to get my PPO, I can't lie.
Yeah, you guys did that all the time in your course.
Man, like, you know what? The first year of flying was really hard. First year of my university was hard. Because I would say, because every Wednesday for engineers, like, it's 5 days a week. We don't have a day off. On the day off, every engineers get Wednesday off.
Yeah.
But on that day, we have to go flying. Like 7:30, we have to be up. 8, we have to be at a certain place for the bus. And if you miss the bus, you miss flying on the day.
And then if you don't get enough hours,
you don't pass the course for first year. So that was jarring. But it was a good experience. Like first, I would say 5 lessons of myself. I was shaking.
How was your experience when you were flying?
My first flying lesson, I was shaking. I was shaking. I didn't know. I was like, probably first one I did for podcast, how nervous I was. If you see it for the first podcast, which will be out soon, which are already out by now by the time you listen to this. The first one was I was shaking. I didn't know what to expect. My instructor was great. My instructor was great, and he was like, "Relax, just enjoy the experience. Just go up there. Don't do anything. Just come with me. Go do we'll take you up. All you do is just watch what I do." And the time that I got on the air with him, I remember till this day, I felt free. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I felt free. My life is outside the box. Like people going down the road, which you probably seen M40, like on motorway, people driving. I'm up in the air, like man, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm looking down.
So that was it. And the reason I haven't said that to many people. I've left aerospace engineering industry because of the bad experience that I faced in university, and at the end of my finishing piloting, the place that I was flying, I don't want to name them. The place that I was flying, there was like a little bit racism. You probably feel that probably in the industry when you get in, and like even one of my black instructor was like, "You'll fly better than me." Like when he said that to me, I felt like I've done so much. Do you get where I'm coming from? I've done so much for the industry. There's something more out there to experience. So this is why, like, I'm done. Let me put my bag down, pack my bag, go traveling.
I remember that.
So I was like, I need to find my motivation, my perspective, my energy again. So
how long were you traveling for?
I was traveling for our first trip I done it for 9 months. Then I took a month off, then went back out again. Because I was stuck in Bangladesh, and then I got deployed back to UK.
You done a madness as well. You went to North Korea, didn't you?
Yeah, North Korea was an experience. So I was in Thailand. I was looking around, how can I get to North Korea? I was with this woman, and we were discussing about North Korea. And then overnight, I was web browsing, and I was like, how can I get to North Korea? I have no plan to go in there at the time. So it's about to come up to May. And I saw there was a May Day event happening. I was like, it would be interesting to go there to check it out. And I was like, it was expensive. Like, it was hella expensive.
Really?
And I was like, you know what? I'm booking it right now. Like, it was 3 days later. Wow. I'm in Hong Kong. And the next day I was in China to North Korea. So
oh my days.
So
what was it like?
So North Korea, I would say, is the most isolated country, but they has one of the most beautiful I've seen. There's no communication. I feel like I was in 1950.
Really?
Like everything.
Were you able to like actually interact with the people and like go to the villages and the towns?
No, they take you everywhere. Like
who's they?
There's one civil secret agent with us and 2 guides.
Okay, these are like government, I'm guessing.
Government like tour guides. Yeah. I don't know who they were. So one of the things that I've done is I did 1,000 burpees in North Korea. I remember
you had the camera set up.
I have a camera set up, but their secret agent was with me 24/7. Well, I'm not even making these jokes because I made the scene. I made the scene in North Korea. I don't think any foreigners went to North Korea did 1,000 burpees. Not even a single person I can imagine.
Know what a burpee was.
But probably I didn't know. I tried to get locals in there. I was like, hey, no. That was funny. It was really nice. Their secret agent was there asking me like loads of questions. Why are you doing this? At the end, when I gave my speech, they was like, I need to go through all your footages. So I didn't tell that story to anyone yet. So they went through all my footages. So what I did was I back up all my footages in a hard drive, external hard drive. I had 2 at the time. I knew they would scan it. Put everything. I showed the other one. They went through it. They deleted so many stuff.
Really? What, the actual hard drive or the
no, actual like the footages.
Card. Oh, so you don't even have it?
No, I still have it. But, they said that you can't do.
Let's make sure they don't figure that out.
They said that you can't do burpees in front of a statue. They can't front of the the leader pictures. They respect it so much. It's feel like it's their god because they have no one to believe to. They don't see anything else. So there's no religions. There's no Muslim. There's no Christian, and there's no Hindu. There's no Buddhism.
Question for you.
Yeah,
You know that nervousness you were talking about with the flight?
yeah.
Did you feel any of that when you were doing something like this? During that whole, like when you were booking, before you were booking it up to the point where you were there?
So I was nervous in the flight
Mm.
because the video that I've seen on YouTube, it's not what it is until you go there with your foot and you see with your own eye. It's more. You have more freedom. Like I did the first burpees in the airport.
You were on a mission.
I was on mission. Like people need to people, and I didn't know. I didn't want to do it for people. I did it for myself.
Yeah.
But people were watching me. The whole airport was looking at me. I was like, "What the fuck going on?" Like, and everyone was asking me, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "I'm just trying to get fit. I'm just trying to get fit." Eventually, it was like, "Yeah." I told them like I'm doing 1,000 burpees in North Korea off my 4 days of trip. So I'm trying to get that done.
250 a day.
250. I was not counting. Like imagine you're going tour and then you're with them 24. So when you're traveling with them and every place that you get there, I'm doing 10 burpees, 20 burpees, whatever I can in that moment, I'm giving it a go. By the time at the end of it, I was like, my leg was on fire. My leg was on fire. But it was interesting. It was very interesting to go out. I would recommend anyone to go out there, go experience it because there's no place in the world it's like North Korea. Because the reason I say that, during the war in 1950, what was the year? 1950 to 1954, when America destroyed whole country. I don't know if I said the year right. When America destroyed whole country, and they're being sanctioned for since till today, and there's no food coming in. There's no food. There's only organic food in the country. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Just whatever the produce is.
Whatever they produce, and internally they only produce a little bit. It's like a UK, like most of the stuff that it comes.
Potatoes and just
It's a cold country.
Yeah.
It's a cold country. So majority stuff in the UK is outskirt. Like it's come from other countries. That's Spain.
Exports and stuff, yeah.
You probably know Spain, like South America, India, whatever. So there's nothing's going there. Because even though they're trying to ask for peace right now, people not trying to accept it because what they've done in the past. They're not seeing past why they're doing it. If you actually put your perspective into their shoes, understand where they're coming from, and they will tell you why they're doing it. Imagine if someone come to your house and like rob everything, and they're saying that you're getting limited supplies only. What would you do? Like, let's say I did it to you, and then
So you came to my house,
I rob everything, and then I said I'm giving you supplied amount. Let's say you get £5 a day. That's all your food for 25 years or 50 years or 70 years. What would you do?
I mean, I'd see how I can survive on my own without requiring outside needs. That's my personal vision.
Personal vision. As it get longer, you'll start hating the opponent. Like, let's say me. Like, do you get where I'm coming from?
So that's an interesting one, right? If we look into history, there's a lot of countries that have been sanctioned. It's not just North Korea.
I'm just talking about because you asked me.
Yeah. So if it was me, I'd see what I can do on my own, like how I can survive on my own, and that sort of mindset I think I've adopted from like Iran is also quite heavily sanctioned as a country, but they've developed their own military. They've developed their own stuff within the country. They basically they're sort of the leaders back in the day. They were like, you know what? If they want to sanction us, let's get our own house in order. And I think Japan done a very similar thing as well, where Japan, one of the emperors actually locked off the borders.
Yeah,
and all he allowed into the country was books and knowledge from Netherlands. So they used to get books shipped in from the Netherlands and they used to read. And why do you think Japan is so technologically advanced? It's because they spent ages not worrying about any other country in the world except for their own.
That's what North Korea hasn't done. They're worried about America so much, and
and to be honest with you, if we even roll that, take what the lessons from that and apply it to ourselves. If you sit here worrying about what other people are doing for the rest of your life, how much are you going to achieve on your own?
so much to learn every day, man. There's so much to learn, and then there's so much to create.
Yeah.
There's so much to understand from the other people' mistakes.
Mm.
Even going there was like good opportunity, like in my community, and like going out there, experiencing myself. So I'm honored to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
There's not many people that I know personally who've done what you've done. Honestly,
I appreciate that.
it's really cool, man.
Appreciate that.
It's
Thank
cool.
you.
Like,
And what you're doing inspiration to, like going out there and in Heathrow and being I believe, like in majority of like in an industry, there's not a lot Muslim.
No. Well,
And
depends on what level of the organization you're looking at. If you're looking at just the ground staff, then you might find any. But in the corporate side,
there's the barely, because I've seen it with my own eyes, as in like when I was in a pilot industry,
yeah,
while I was trying to become a pilot, when I was going to all the
Yeah.
expedition, all the stuff, all the corporate world.
it's a very white industry,
Yeah,
especially
white.
in the UK. It's just white middle-aged men. A lot of them.
They don't even hire like people that who has a brain, and then what you're doing is the most inspiration.
So you see that perception of the aviation industry though is why people told me don't get into it. Like my uncles told me don't do it.
I'll say go
won't
for
get a
it.
job. Yeah. Well, now they see. I told them I don't care what you think. Like I'm gonna do it because I want to do it. I'm gonna do it. But like it wasn't easy. Like when I went in for a job interview at Lufthansa, the first thing the guy told me, he looked at me, he looked at my CV, he read Mohammed, he was like, "Are you Arab?" Like imagine I was 19 years old and the guy goes up to me, "Are you Arab?" Just like screw facing me.
That's crazy.
Like you think to yourself like, and the thing is the HR partner was sat next to him, and I see her face just go. Like, did he actually ask that question? Like I don't think he realizes that you can't ask such questions. But it shows you how ignorant some people are. Like
A lot of people are ignorant, man.
to the whole thing.
Even a loads of manager.
He got fired, by the way, very quickly.
after interviewing.
Not particularly the interview, but just in general. Apparently, he was very bad. So
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of managers out there. Like I have experience. They've been hired to do what the job is, but they don't have no knowledge of what others are.
yeah, people.
Experience
Yeah.
are people. Like I experienced that. I got sacking on one of my job. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, one of my job, and that was give me a reason I should go out from London. Like there's nothing for me right now. I need to go experience it right now. Like now or never. That was it.
Coming back from the fact that you've done all that and you made that decision, you've come back. What would you say your main takeaway from all of that was?
I'll say live right now.
Yeah.
Don't think about anything else. Like live right now. Like the moment won't come back. Even this conversation won't come back again. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like being here. I'm here 100%. I'm with you. Like I know that I have a meeting with someone else afterward, but like my time is here, is right now. Like take what you can. Don't try to think, oh yeah, this guy's doing this in a holiday. But everyone have a different time zone.
Yeah.
Like my time was to what I was going through at the time. No one knew what I was going through.
Yeah.
Like I was going through mental health. I was going through dark time. I was like, if I don't do it now, I'll probably die. This is what I was thinking.
Was this when we went to that restaurant ages ago?
Yeah, that was after the after the restaurant. I was telling you. I remember I'm going traveling. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I told you do it, bro.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. And then my parents didn't even knew about this, you know.
Really?
Like my mom didn't know where I was going. My dad didn't know where I was going. I didn't release anything. I just told my mom I'm going away. And then my mom's like, yeah, be safe. I saw my dad in tears. I've never seen like, do you know where I'm coming from? You don't see your dad's in tears. But then when you see that something like there's something out there. Even though people say I didn't become successful in the filmmaking industry or storytelling, but what I actually took out is what I've done before the virus. The same experience won't happen again. The same energy that I had at the time.
Yeah, people are now just cautious, at least for another 10 years until people forget about this whole thing.
I wouldn't even say 10 years. They will take another 10 to 15 years easily.
Wow.
I would say
For
because
people to be like, I'm guessing people were inviting you into their homes. People were eating with you. And just,
if you probably remember this, what I've done like last year in September, I hitchhiked from Barcelona to London, which took me 12
I
days.
remember that. Yeah, That
I will not have the experience if the virus things are happening. Like I was not able to do that because I want to I want to do that because there's a lot of immigrant in the UK. Because I'm an immigrant too, but there's a lot of people who walked to London. But I want to experience. I've been living in London since I was young. Since I was 9 years old, 10 years old, I've not experienced that. But when people say, "Oh, go back to your country, go back to your country," but I want to understand why people done it to experience it. Even though when I was hitchhiking, I saw people trying to get to London, like with a backpack with a group of people. Like it was.
And in terms of, would people ask to see your documentation?
Like there's some. I saw loads of racism because I was brown, like white with a beard with my backpack. People were assuming they don't want to take me in. If I was with a white guy or like white girl,
blonde eyes,
I would have been picked up. Like there's a lot distance I walk. Like I had to hitchhike to the mountain, come back down. There was loads of what car was going. Not a single person stopped for at least 4 hours.
Wow. Which country was this?
It was between Caledonia. No, Calaton. No, what was I saying? Between border of Spain and France, where the border was.
Okay.
What was the place called? Caledonia? I'm not saying it right. What was the name? Yeah, anyway, let's when I get the name again, I'll get back to you. But that place, it was so beautiful. Word can't describe how beautiful it was. But I just stood there, had tears in my eye. I was like, wow.
What have I signed up for?
What did I sign up? Like, I signed, like, this is craziest thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And no one experiencing this. I'm the only person out there.
You know what? I want to do more of stuff like this, bro.
Because the reason I did it is because I have an adrenaline rush. I still do have that in my heart.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't do it at the time, and if I keep saying it, I want to do it, and I didn't do it, I probably have a regret right now.
Oh, absolutely, bro. If we after that conversation that we had in that restaurant met up today, and you hadn't gone through what you had gone through, I guarantee like your mental health would not be what it is today. You'll be
I'm way stronger right now. Like I can, there's certain days that I don't want to do anything.
That's natural. That's
natural, isn't it? Yeah. So like I'm able to hold myself up even in a lot of different situations. I was like, I'm got this.
Yeah, if you can stand there for 4 hours waiting for someone to hitchhike and no one's.
No, I was walking with my backpack, and then there's a guy from there was a guy from Colombia. He was in a van. He drove past. He'd done a full junction, made the U-turn, came back for me.
Wow. What did he say when he stopped?
He was like, "Oh, my little brother done something like you. When I see you, you're the most inspiration guy."
Did he have like a sign?
No, I had a little sign written in
as
something. What did I say? I can't even remember. I said, "I'm going to the north. Can someone give me a lift?"
Okay.
So I have my massive backpack on, and like
sign on the back.
And then everyone was screw face looking at the sign. Sign was a bit small, but I can't even write Spanish at the time. It was this guy came. Google translated, and then I'm sleeping in some like Italian guy house. We don't speak no languages.
Oh wow!
They host me to sleep over, and the next day they took me to the like most beautiful beach.
Wow!
To experience like local culture, and they got me. They get paid for the food, drink, alcohol. Like obviously I don't drink alcohol, but at the time I was drinking. They gave everything. Like it's your time, experiences.
Yeah. See stuff like that makes you want to live in the now.
Yeah. So this is
about.
Like I say to myself, this is say to my everyday. The day that you wake up, the eyes that you open, is a blessing for that day. Because next day you never know where you'll be. Yeah. You could be anywhere, any worse position. So this is why I do what I've done. Alhamdulillah, I'm very grateful to be where I am. Yeah. Before who you were, like what you become, like back in the day, you was big, you were lack of confidence, you have no energy, you're a very shy person, and also you broke your leg. How's that transition happen to become who you are today? You're one of the most inspiration guy I know right now in the aviation industry. Like in being in Heathrow, like a lot of experience. I'm even jealous that I should have done what you've done and like be in the shoes. But how's that transition happen?
It's crazy. So I mean, back in the day, I started from the beginning. Back in the day, I literally lacked like zero confidence, man. I went to an all boys Islamic school where, like, when I came out and I went to my sixth form, I went to a brand new sixth form, and all of a sudden there's like this other gender called females that now I have to deal with. I couldn't even look. I couldn't even look a girl in the eye. Like literally, I was staring at the ground, just super nervous. Like, and she was like, what subjects are you doing? And I'm like, maths, physics. I couldn't. I had zero confidence, and a large part of the growth from that was YouTube videos. Surprisingly, I used to watch loads of YouTube videos about like just how to improve your confidence, how to build your character, personal development, and it was a lot of stupid stuff as well, like like just people like doing random stuff and dumb stuff in public, and I think, how is it that this guy isn't getting embarrassed? Like, why is it that if I was to do that, I'd basically die, but this person is just doing it and just shrugging it off? And you know what? Actually, if anything, people around him are thinking that's a cool person because they're just being themselves and they're not being bothered by other people's opinions. So I was a lot of that, right? But it was only until my second year of university, even throughout university, like I was just sticking to my boys. I didn't really speak to sort of anyone, and I was just really stuck to myself. And again, no confidence. I wouldn't really talk in public. It was all very, very to myself. And then in my second year, I was joining the American football team. Yeah. There was a few characters on the American football team that I remember once we were sat down and we were talking. You remember Lake, right?
Yeah, he's meant to come, but he's denying me right now. Not denying me. It was like, you got work things going on, but he will come on season 2.
Lake probably doesn't know the impact he had on my life.
Yeah, this is why I want him to be on a podcast. He'll probably come in soon.
Lake's all about mindfulness. Lake's all about being in your zone, like just doing your thing, enjoying, And I remember we were sat there once talking, and this guy's describing his mental state. And I'm thinking, how does a human being become like that? And he recommended a book called The Yusuf Guide to Balance. And it talks about the mind, the body, and the spirit. And about how if you nourish the mind, the body, and the spirit, you unlock parts of yourself. And I literally mean you unlock parts of yourself you didn't know existed. And this book, I started reading it, and I started reading the mind section. I haven't actually finished this book. I've only ever read the mind section. But that sent me down a rabbit hole of personal development that till this day is burning within me. Yeah, I started to realize the power of my brain and the thoughts I tell myself. Crazy. And everything that I feed into my brain, and the thoughts and the beliefs that I believe, and how those impact who I am. I started to meditate. I started to put myself outside my comfort zone. I started to do things that will develop me as a person and actively seek growth rather than just, because once you realize like you grow, you think, shit, like, wow, like if it only took for me to do this to grow, all I did was read a book and I became better than who I was yesterday. What's the upper limit to this? Like, where can this take me? And those questions really, really were on my mind. And I started to read more, and I started to really look into the power of the mind. And that's the sort of books that got me into the power of now and the power of the moment, and how, letting go of all these self-doubt, self-limiting thoughts really liberated my life. And I on this trajectory that I never thought I'd ever be on because of a simple one conversation, which I decided to action. I remember in the moment I ordered that book.
I didn't even know you was a lack of confidence during your first year and the second year, and then the second year the shift happened.
Yeah.
And the third year you was fourth year.
So I went on placement. Yeah,
and then when you was a completely different human being. I remember I was in your room in your little accommodation.
Yeah.
And then having a little discussion about life.
Absolutely. That year I was woke, as they say. Like,
you was aware of who you are.
Yes. And that's the biggest thing, man.
You need to be aware of who you are first before you start doing anything in life.
Yeah. But the thing is, being aware of who you are till this day, it's a journey that I'm on.
Yeah, every day is a new thing that you learn from yourself.
Exactly. But being conscious that journey even exists is a liberating moment.
This is why I call this airtime prime, because you're living in prime time moment. Your time is a prime.
Yeah.
You can't take that back. Like I said earlier in this podcast, like the moment you have is the precious moment.
Yeah.
It's like things like obviously we might have a lack of confidence in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Or speaking in public, or speaking doing stupid stuff in the public. You probably go, this guy watching me. Why is he watching me?
Yeah.
But it's all in your head.
Yeah. People don't care about you, bro.
People don't care about you. People don't even know what you're gonna say next word is.
And to be honest with you, they don't care. Everyone's so in their own head. These self-limiting thoughts, like, especially when they are derived from what other people may think about us, it's like that person didn't even care. There's a little experiment that was really interesting, right? They've got this really shy person to wear like an obscure shirt, like a shirt they wouldn't usually wear because they feared other people would judge them. They got them to wear this shirt, and they got them to walk into the lecture hall and like make a loud noise, like slam the door open type thing. And they'd walk in. And then after they did that, they got them sit down. After the whole process, they took that person, they asked them, how many people do you think noticed you and your shirt and the fact that it's weird? And they were like, oh my God, no.
Really?
The person said, everyone's eyes looked at me and everyone was looking at me. Then they asked the room, how many people noticed there was someone that walked in, by the way? They were like, I think 5 to 10% of people said, yeah, we may have noticed something. Like they didn't notice any specifics. It was just something happened over there, but it wasn't really, I was in my own zone.
Yeah.
No one
cares. There's a video that I've seen. A couple years ago. There's a guy in a park. Like it's about sunset time. He played the music, start dancing by himself alone. By himself alone. No one was there. Like everyone, someone was recording this. No one was there. He started dancing, and a couple minutes later, 2 people joined.
Yeah.
10 seconds later, there was about 25 people at least join.
Yeah.
After a minute in, it became a big crowd.
Like a rave.
Like it's a person movement.
Yeah.
Change your whole environment. And this is the exact same thing that I've done when I went traveling. Do you know how my videos in like, oh yeah, it's a match today, catch you tomorrow. I tried to gather loads of people.
Yeah.
The first couple of them, I was shitting myself. I was like, I didn't know how to ask people to get in a video.
Yeah.
But after a few in,
I remember you used to have crowds of people like saying
it. I was like, at least I was in top of a mountain. There's at least 40 people, 30 or 40 people. I make them gather. I was like, sit down here, say this. Like people was like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. I'm in a video.
It's kind of like a Nas Daily vibe. It's like,
yeah, it was I was inspired by Nas Daily.
Yeah.
I even met him. I
remember you wore that shirt, like the Progress shirt.
So basically what he done was the best thing that he's done, like getting people together, communicating. But like you inspired by people. But I wasn't doing it because of him. I just want to travel.
Yeah.
But do something while I'm traveling to keep myself motivated.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And building an audience is that like
building an audience and building something for myself. Like I was learning. I didn't study filmmaking in university. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to make it like talk in front of a camera. I didn't know how to gather people.
Yeah.
These are the soft skills that I've learned. Like you can't just get it from anywhere else.
Yeah.
You just got to put yourself out there, be vulnerable, and like be there for yourself. Even though whatever he's done, like whatever achievement that he's done in life, as someone's going out there doing it for himself, even though the person did it in recognition, the person has learned so much.
Bro, you said make yourself like be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable right there.
Bro,
like
you know how powerful I find that concept of vulnerability to be.
Like people would just want to have one picture for themselves. You're human.
Yeah.
People forget that you're human. You can be anything.
Yeah.
Like you're gangster, but in that gangster, there's a soft person inside you.
Yeah.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
Like there's that, and then there's also like just when you become vulnerable and you make yourself vulnerable, you'd be surprised how many more people are willing to empathize with your situation and help. You know what I mean? Like people are willing to help you when you make yourself vulnerable. Like it's and also not only that is like when you make yourself vulnerable, what's the worst that can happen from there? It's like you've exposed yourself to the point where other people's judgments can hit you hard. And if they hit you hard, they hit you, but you're gonna have to bounce back from it.
Of course.
And that making yourself vulnerable in that safe and saying, well, this is who I am. This is who I am. What you're gonna do about it? You start to realize that, you know what, that wasn't too bad. Like that
You know,
wasn't
first
too
one
bad.
was the first one that I've done, like, because I didn't know how to make a film. I had no guidance. I just wanted to travel at the time. Like, I was sacked from a job, and I lost my mind. I was like, I was in a dark place. I booked a one way, and I just bought this camera, which I'm recording right now. I didn't know, like, I didn't even know how to use the software, and I said to myself, I'm gonna deliver a video every single day. I don't know how long. To my journey, but then my ego stopped me to become who I am, like, till today. All right, so we were from that was, what was that noise from? Like, that was a
These.
Oh yeah, McDonald's. Back to you is like, so you started at aerospace, like you didn't even tell me about your breaking legs. Like,
Okay, so when I was 16 years old, I decided to go skiing. All right, and it was the first time I ever gonna travel alone. So I told
was
my
it
dad,
alone? Like,
I went to meet. I traveled to Sweden alone, and I met my sister there.
okay.
So she sort of linked me there, right? She lives there. My dad was like, oh, you know, you gotta be careful. You gotta look after yourself. I was like, yeah, sure. But I was 16, first time traveling alone. I still got pictures. I remember like going to like the Ray-Ban store, the airport, taking selfies. You know, gassed. First time traveling alone.
So your mom
arrived-
approved to go, like, travel alone.
all approved from the family side. But then, so I get there, and then the night before, I'm getting really excited. Tomorrow, I'm skiing for the first time. Super excited. So, all right, let me watch these YouTube videos to learn how to do it. Now, I think I watched 2 YouTube videos, and the third one was how to brake, slow down. I was like, you know, I'm getting a bit tired after the second one. I was like, let me sleep. I'll finish off tomorrow morning. I'll learn how to brake. Tomorrow morning comes around. Obviously, you're late. Everything's rushing. You forget to watch the video. We come out the door. I get dressed. I'm super excited. Now in my head, I'm already gassed because I'm like, I watched 2 YouTube videos. You know, this is going to be a piece of cake. The guy was doing it. I can do it. So I jump on the slope. My sister isn't even on the slope yet. I'm like, I'm going straight to the top. So I get to the top. I'm looking down. I'm like, whoa, this is a bit crazy. You know, this is a bit crazy. Like, and then I'm like, you know what? I see, like, and things, I was on a baby slope as well. And I see people skiing down. I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. So I start going down. Everyone's doing zigzags, left, right. I was thinking straight down. Literally straight down. And I've done what I see in the Olympics, where you tuck in and you collect bare speed. And then I get to the point where I'm doing the thing that, like,
to slow down.
Yeah, to slow down. Like, I've heard this is how you do it, but it wasn't working. So I was like, screw it. Like, I'm trying, it's not working, whatever. And I'm like, we'll see where this goes. And I just go. And then I get to the end of the road, and there's this massive, like, mound of ice. And I go straight over into the forest. I remember opening my eyes. I'm thinking, okay, I'm alive. I look over. I try and get up. Nothing's responding. I look over on my shoulder, and I see my leg is sat on my shoulder, pointing that way. So my leg was like this, like that, and like just over my shoulder. My leg was just complete Harry Potter style, like just
wow, jelly.
Literally. And then I remember seeing it, and this is the moment. This is a critical moment in my life. I remember a conversation going on in my head, and it was like, you have 2 options. You can either panic and stress, or you can deal with this. Panic and stress isn't going to help. Just deal with it.
Wow.
So I picked up my leg and I put it back where I
Were you feeling the pain though? Like,
no pain. Not a single touch of pain. Not a single touch. My body had gone into panic mode, just shut down the pain receptors. And I remember having my leg in my hand, and the guy was running over going, are you okay? And I just looked at him like, I've broken my leg. Can you please call an ambulance? I was so calm. I was like, I've broken my leg. Can you please call an ambulance? The guys come on the snowmobiles, and he's like, listen, mate, I've worked in this industry on the slope for the past 16 years. I've seen people break every bone in their body. I have never in my life seen somebody as calm as you have been. I was busting jokes. I had my phone out. I was taking selfies. I was chilling. I had my head like this, just sitting there waiting. I remember seeing my sister coming, and I was waving my hands, going, "Oh, I'm alright. I'm okay. I'm okay." She's like, "What do you mean you're okay? Have you seen your leg?" And like my leg was just flung over to one side.
God.
But that was a fundamental point in my life where now anything happens, it's like, well, stressing is not gonna help. Let me just deal with it. If I could go through a leg broke, and by the way, I broke my femur, which is the biggest bone in your body and the strongest bone in your body.
And then
If I
doctor
could go
said
through-
that you would never walk again.
No, the doctors actually, it's crazy, man. I got rushed into hospital and it was like a movie. Like there was like 30 people just running around, like people wearing gloves, and it was literally like a movie because apparently your femur is quite close to your nerves, like your main nerve for your leg, and it's also quite close to a main one of your like I'm not sure if it's an artery or a vein, but it runs right next to your femur, and if that cuts, you're in trouble. So that was like I went straight to the top of the priority list. That same night, I got put into an operating room, and I got a titanium rod put into my leg.
Wow.
And they stuck me back together again with a titanium rod. Until this day, I got my titanium.
Rocking there.
Yeah, I got.
And after that, you
rod.
done a triathlon.
Yeah. So,
Wow, that's an inspiration. Anyone that watching there right now, breaking a leg, was it both leg or was it
just one? Just, the leg
just one leg? Breaking on one leg, put titanium rod
Yeah.
in the body, and you done triathlon.
Two back
Two.
to back.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't even done one. I only done Tough Mudder once in my life. but-
Triathlons are cool, man.
Yeah.
So signing up for my triathlon, I didn't know what I was signing up for.
You didn't know what was good. So
I
how was the
numbers,
experience?
right? I saw numbers. My brother-in-law was doing it, and he
Okay.
was, my brother-in-law was doing it, and he was doing like the baby triathlon. It was like the sprint,
Okay.
where everything is like just
Small one.
introductory. So I was like, sure, I'll sign up for the sprint, but that's not enough of a challenge. So I was like to him, what's the next level up? He's like, that's the Olympic level. So that's what they'll do in an Olympic length triathlon. So I signed up for the sprint, and also the week after, literally 1 week later, I had an Olympic triathlon
So
as well.
like breaking your leg,
Yeah.
how long did it take you to recover? Like since you said you were 16, and then
Yeah.
so when did it recover? And you said, I'm able to walk again.
Well, the initial, like, you can come off crutches about 8 weeks afterwards, but the pain, bro, I could tell about 3 years in, I could feel the screws in my knee. Every time I'd go upstairs, I could feel my ligament just bouncing on the screws, and I can literally feel the screws here, and I can also feel the screw in my hip as well. So every time
Even till today.
the
screw has
the
a problem.
pain kind of subsides, but when I do physical activity, it comes back. But every time I do a crunch or a sit up, I could, because there's so much strain on your pelvis, I could feel this screw up against the muscle and the ligaments in my body, and I can literally feel the pain inside my pelvis. But
insane.
I would just be like, you know what, I've got to deal with this. Like, I'm not complaining is not going to help at all.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna deal with it, and that's the situation. That's my mindset.
That's
about anything,
inspiration, man. That's really inspiration. So after breaking your legs, like the first triathlon you've done, when was what's the what's the year
It was
different?
5 years. It was 5 years. So I had time to recover, but
Doing that and like
but the
coming over your obstacles and then being your pain, like
absolutely, yeah.
there's loads of people who just give up on the sports, like who's like, I'm not doing it anymore.
I played American football as well.
Yeah, I remember.
I played. But the thing is, after I told my coach, like, this is about a year in, I was like to him, by the way, I've got a titanium rod in my leg. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. Is that a problem? He's like, what would happen if you break your leg? I was like, I'd be screwed, like, because there's titanium and bone broken. That's a bit of a sticky one.
Titanium won't break though.
I don't know, innit? I don't know.
I don't think it will
But
break.
if anything, I'd break my knee. Like, I'd break the bit it's connected to.
Yeah.
Like, the titanium would be so strong, the rest of it would break. And he was
Titanium is the strongest metal in the world. So
yeah, probably won't break. Yeah,
Yeah,
true. Titanium
sure,
won't break. But
yeah.
I'm thinking, what other stuff around it
yeah,
will
what
break?
might
Because
break,
this
yeah.
is not breaking.
yeah.
So he was like, listen, it's not worth the risk that you're taking. But this is after a year. I was like, screw it. Let me do some triathlons then. But yeah,
That
was
from
cool.
that reason that you went triathlon.
Yeah. Well, the reason I did triathlons because my brother-in-law was doing it, and I was like, I want a challenge. I like challenges.
Yeah.
So this every year. So after I skied, I broke my leg. It took about 7 years to convince my dad to try skiing again. And this past 2 years, I've been going skiing every year.
Wow.
I
want to do it. I haven't done skiing in my life
This
yet.
year, if Corona permits, right? Skiing has become too easy. I want to try snowboarding. I want to do things that are difficult.
Yeah.
That's the motto for me now. If
I want to
it's
do
easy,
skydive for my birthday,
bro,
man. Like, I can't wait. I
Skydive,
can't
but
wait.
is that skydiving connected to
No,
someone?
like
your
on my own.
Yes,
On my own.
spud
Like,
me, bro.
yeah, on my
Anyone
own.
connected, like, what's the point?
Like,
What's the point?
I want to do it alone. Like, if I die, I want to die with legendary moment. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you're only living to die.
Yeah.
If it's your destiny, you're gonna die. You get what I'm saying?
Anyway.
But
You
and
could be
then
at
I
home
want
and
that.
you'll die.
I want that adrenaline rush in my life
Mm.
to keep myself going. Like even when I was flying my plane, I want to go full speed. I want to do that turn.
Yeah,
I want to do that turn.
Yeah.
But this is why I didn't see myself to work in commercial industries.
Because
you get
you
it?
can't. That's
You
not what
can't
it's
do it.
about.
You're just in one plane,
Yeah.
and like you said, it's Uber.
Yeah.
Like one A to B,
Yeah.
B to A.
Yeah. It's
You're
like
there.
it's like a race driver saying, "Oh yeah, I love driving cars," and then say, "Yeah, okay, fine, be an Uber driver."
Yeah,
Like that's
basically.
not why I'm driving the car. I don't want to just drive it like that.
Like, well, when I get rich, I
Yeah.
will have my own plane. I still have a picture on my. I will have my own plane or helicopter
Yeah.
to fly where I need to go.
You know what I want, bro? When I make it,
Yeah,
a jetpack.
that would be amazing.
That's-
Like
that's
go
dream,
to Dubai and
Bro,
a fly.
I'm not even joking. There's an Instagram page called Gravity. Take on Gravity. That's
Yeah,
what
I've
they're
seen.
called.
They came down here recently, like last 4 or 5 months ago.
Serious.
So they did.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Next to the stadium and stuff. Yeah.
XL,
yeah.
So they came down.
That's
I
where I
was
done my
invited,
triathlon.
but I didn't know it was that. But I missed out the opportunity.
Mad. So bro, at some point in my career,
You should
I
definitely
want
do
to
it.
be part. Not even just. I want to be involved in that side of stuff.
Like Iron Man, like go in there wherever,
Literally like
put
Iron Man,
your suit on.
Yeah. Like at the
I'm going
moment,
work, my guy. I'm going to my job. I'm going to my business.
Literally, I'm just going where I want to go. That's it.
That's insane,
Like
man.
the owner of the company, Richard Browning, he has this thing where he's describing how it feels to fly in these suits, and he's like, once you get used to it, all you have to do is think about where you want to go, and you just go.
Like it's like driving. Like everything's like, even for flying,
Yeah,
like you probably experience this too. Like once you learn the basics, things that you need to do,
yeah,
everything become numb to
Yeah.
your brain.
yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
You feel connected. To
That
the
you feel
car.
connected.
You
You
sorta-
just like even flying, you just fly with your 2 fingers.
yeah,
You don't need to like move a lot of muscles in your body. 2 fingers, you can actually make it go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go this direction. But for the first start, for 40 hours in, you have all the struggles to understand. Once you pass the hours,
becomes easier.
become easier. Like when you pass your test, your driving license, first at least when you get your own car, you're driving. You have
Careful. Like,
so careful, but after a year down the line, you're like, yep, jump on, start a key, put gears, and like
Yeah,
you're
literally.
off.
Yeah,
You don't even check anything. You know what you need to do, but
Exactly.
it's obviously
Safety
essentials. Essential checks
your
are
mirrors.
important.
Check your mirrors.
Essential checks are important. There's a lot of car accident I've seen without
It's
checking.
not pretty.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, and also it's not about just essential checks for yourself. You're not checking for yourself. You're checking if there's a bike, a cyclist, a motorcyclist, someone crossing the road. These people are more vulnerable than you are. If you're in a car, you survive. Somebody who's on a motorbike, they have a family, a kid.
the majority people who get ticket or who involved in an accident, they are not on a motorway.
They're in the side roads. They're in the
They're in
city.
their own local area.
Mm.
More percentages. If you do the research, 80% of the accident happen in them on your local area because your brain is used to it. You know where your ticket is. I got a speeding ticket a couple of years ago in my own area where they changed 30 to 20.
Because you were there doing
It is
33.
Now I was doing 26 or 20 in my local area. I know this road was not like
Habit. It was just.
yeah,
a
it was just
habit.
habit to drive on that road. But I got that ticket and I had to go
That's
for a school.
jarring.
Like it was ridiculous. But I was complaining, but obviously I should have known better. but then they change it. Like everyone complain about it, like why is 30 to 20, but they'll probably have a bigger reason. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, safety is important, and if you decrease your speed by 10 miles an hour, it's not like you're still gonna get to your destination. But how many people's lives can we save? So,
But sometimes you just need to go faster when your intention is like, I don't give a shit.
yeah,
I just want to drive, you know?
I got a new car now, and it's got a pretty big engine in it for its size. And boy, like I find myself doing speeds that I shouldn't be doing. But it's like I didn't realize that the car's going so fast, because like you forget. You just you put it in second gear, put the foot down a bit. And it's like, whoa, this is okay. I need to brake, calm down, like, because
Adrenaline rush.
I'm an adrenaline junkie for sure, bro. And that's the problem with having a fast car. When you're an adrenaline junkie, a fast car, it's not.
You know, aviation industry, so
yeah. No,
It's,
one day I'll be flying. That'll be good. You know what I mean?
yeah, I didn't
At
like.
the moment, the best adrenaline that I can get.
It's a car.
Nah, there's
What more?
more, bro.
What is it?
I've-
Skiing coming?
Nah, there's this thing called an electric unicycle. I don't know if you've ever heard of this thing, yeah. But
I've seen you riding it.
yeah,
I
that's it,
haven't
bro.
got that confident. When I like, I haven't been on one yet.
Yeah,
I'd love to get on one and
Bro.
give it a go.
it's not about just giving it a go. It's about get on one, keep getting on one until it's second nature, and then you feel like Iron Man. Literally, when you're on it, I just think about where I want to go and I just zoom. I literally zoom. And it's so fast. It's electric. So as soon as you tilt, it just gives you all its power and you're there. Bro, these little wheels, it's just a wheel. So you have complete maneuverability of where you want to go. Oh my days, it's so much fun. And you know what? I see people on these little scooters and I'm like, you have no idea what you're missing out on. like honestly,
Man.
so much. And anyone
heart
who's
just
watching
melt.
anyone who's watching this,
My heart just melt
Get an
from
electric
the way
unicycle.
you described it, and then like,
honestly, mine got stolen in the lockdown. I had to go buy another one because I just missed the feeling so much.
rah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crime rates keep going up due to the lockdown. You know, because a lot of
Yeah.
people are losing jobs,
Yeah.
and then like
know-
there's nothing to do. There's more crime. There's more robbery. People coming in, and I'll say be careful on the road. And yeah, and I would like to say thank you very much for coming. And I
Thanks,
want to
you.
do part 2.
Part 2. Yeah.
Probably down the line when Leo come. Probably
Leo, that'll be a good conversation.
Leo had a few difficulty today,
Well,
but,
the guy's doing good.
and
man.
also how people can find you and what you do. Just give us 1 minute of what you do, what you're trying to achieve in your life, and
Where to
then
find me.
where to find you.
Okay, so
Camera's right there. Or you.
my biggest thing is that I want people to realize the potential they have within them. The same way I did. I took one conversation with one person. I went and read one book, and my life was flipped on its head. I want people to have those experiences in their life because you won't realize how much you have within you until those experiences happen. Now, no matter what stage in life you're at, you can have that sort of experience, but you need to go seeking for it. It's a bit of a self-discovery. But I'm going to tell you right now that it's possible. Because if it happened to me and I was some shy, insecure kid with no ambitions, no dreams, no goals, it can happen to you. Ever since I've started this journey, my goals have just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And my life has begun to align the way I want it to be. When you get your thoughts in line, your life begins to form the way you want it to become. And that's the journey that I want to take people on. So I have a page where I share ideas and thoughts like this that I have, but I also share the stuff that I do at my work. So I work at Heathrow Airport as an engineer, and I get to share the behind the scenes of what keeps a Heathrow Airport operational. If that's something that interests you, or if you want to learn more about personal development, follow my page. It's at Motivate. So MO_T_IVATE.
If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, I'll put all of his detail on the description so you can find him. And I'll say go find him. If you're in the industry, if you want to go into the aviation industry, go find him. You'll learn a lot from him. Even though I was an engineer, I still learn everything that he does. So go find him. Go support my guy. Thank you. Thank you for coming today.
Yusuf, thank you. I appreciate it.
And I'm glad to have you on this podcast because it's been a really long time.
Yeah.
And then thank you. And then thank you for listening. And then stay tuned. Airtime Prime. Peace out. Hey.